You're in the middle of a deadline. Your chest is tight. Your jaw is clenched. Your mind is spinning through every possible way this could go wrong. You can feel the cortisol flooding your system. Your heart is hammering. This is stress. And you've been told your entire life that it's killing you, that it's the enemy, that you need to eliminate it, manage it, hack it, or at the very least, meditate it away. But here's the thing they don't tell you in the wellness industry. Your stress response is not a bug. It's a feature. It's a system that took hundreds of millions of years to evolve. And it made you. It made all of us. And if you've been treating it like a disease, you've been fighting the wrong battle.
In 2001, a psychologist named Kelly McGonigal published a book that would change how we think about stress. But the research that informed it started much earlier. In the 1990s, a team of scientists at the University of Rochester ran a study that looked at how people experienced stress in their daily lives. They followed hundreds of adults for weeks, measuring both their stress levels and their health outcomes. What they found was confusing. Some people who reported high levels of stress were getting sick all the time. Others reported the exact same levels of stress and remained perfectly healthy. There was something else going on. And when they looked closer, they found it. It wasn't the stress that was hurting people. It was the belief that stress was hurting them. The people who believed stress was harmful had a 43% increased risk of dying. The people who experienced high stress but didn't believe it was harming them had the lowest risk of death in the entire study, lower than people with low stress. The stress itself wasn't the problem. The story they told themselves about it was.
Let's step back and look at what stress actually is. Your body has a built-in alarm system. It's called the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. It's a cascade of hormones that starts in your brain, moves through your pituitary gland, and ends in your adrenal glands, which sit on top of your kidneys. When your brain perceives a threat, it signals your adrenal glands to release cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate goes up, your pupils dilate, blood rushes to your muscles, your digestive system shuts down. This is the fight or flight response. And it's not a malfunction. It's one of the most sophisticated survival systems ever designed. It's what let your ancestors run from predators. It's what lets you slam on the brakes when a car cuts you off. It's what gives you the focus to hit a deadline at 3 a.m. Your stress response is a tool. The problem is that modern life triggers it constantly. Your brain can't tell the difference between a lion and an email from your boss. So you live in a state of low-grade activation that never quite turns off. And over time, that wears down your immune system, it damages your cardiovascular system, it shrinks your hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory. That part is real. But here's where the story gets more complicated.
In 2013, McGonigal published her famous TED Talk, which has been viewed over 50 million times. She stood on the stage and said something that sounded radical. She told the audience that stress wasn't the enemy. She told them to embrace it, to reinterpret the pounding heart and the sweaty palms as signs that their body was giving them energy, not destroying them. She cited the research from the Rochester study and dozens of others that found the same pattern. Stress itself doesn't kill you. Your belief that it will does. And the audience ate it up. It was liberating. It was counterintuitive. It felt like permission to stop running. But then something happened. Other researchers started digging into the data. They found that the effect was real, but it wasn't that simple. The relationship between stress and health is bidirectional. Chronic stress does damage, regardless of your mindset. But the mindset can modulate the severity of that damage. It's not that stress is harmless, it's that your interpretation of it determines how much harm it does.
Let's go back to the biology, because it's incredible once you understand it. When your brain activates the stress response, it doesn't just release cortisol. It also releases a cocktail of hormones called catecholamines. These include adrenaline and noradrenaline.
These hormones don't just prepare you for action, they also change how you process the world. Under stress, your pupils dilate to let in more light. Your peripheral vision narrows to focus on the threat. Your hearing becomes more acute. You literally perceive reality differently in a stressful moment. You're more alert, more aware, more capable of seeing patterns that you'd miss in a relaxed state. And here's the part nobody talks about. Your brain also releases a surge of dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with motivation and reward. Stress doesn't just make you scared, it makes you want to act. It makes you want to solve the problem. This is why people who are under pressure often perform better than people who are relaxed. A little bit of stress makes you sharper. It makes you more creative, not less. A 2016 study at the University of California, Berkeley, found that acute stress actually enhances the growth of new neurons in the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for memory. Chronic stress kills neurons. Acute stress grows them. The difference is in the duration and the recovery time.
So, what does this mean for you? It means that stress is not your enemy. It's your ally. But it's an ally that needs boundaries. It's like fire. Fire can cook your food and warm your home, or it can burn your house down. The difference isn't fire. The difference is how you manage it. And the most important tool you have for managing it is your own brain. The act of reframing stress as a helpful response actually changes your physiology. In a 2012 study from Harvard, participants were told to reinterpret their stress response before a social performance task. They were told that the racing heart and the sweaty palms were signs that their body was preparing to give them energy. The participants who were given this instruction had a completely different cardiovascular response from the control group. Their blood vessels stayed relaxed and open, while the control group's blood vessels constricted. That's the difference between a healthy stress response and one that damages your arteries. Your thoughts literally change the physical response to the same stimulus. This is where the science gets beautiful. The stress response doesn't just make you want to fight or flee, it also makes you want to connect. In moments of high stress, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Oxytocin pushes you to reach out. It makes you want to be with people you trust. It makes you want to protect others. This is called the tend and befriend response. It's one of the oldest survival mechanisms we have. When a predator attacks a group, the ones who survive are the ones who work together, the ones who care for each other. The stress response is actually designed to push you toward connection. The anxiety you feel before a difficult conversation isn't a sign that you should avoid it. It's a sign that you need to have it. The nervousness before a public speech isn't a sign that you're wrong. It's a sign that what you're saying matters. The knot in your stomach before making a decision isn't a sign to delay. It's your body telling you to act.
There's one more piece to this puzzle, and it might be the strangest of all. Your stress response is also a source of meaning. In a 2019 study, researchers asked people to reflect on their most stressful life experiences. They found that people who could identify a positive outcome from a stressful period, like a divorce that led to a better life, or a job loss that forced a career change, reported higher levels of meaning and purpose than people who had never gone through significant stress at all. The people who had faced adversity and grown from it were happier than the people who had avoided it. The researchers called this post-traumatic growth. And it turns out you can't have it without the trauma. You can't have growth without the stress. You can't have meaning without the struggle. The things that make life worth living, love, achievement, belonging, purpose, all require you to step into stress, to risk failure, to risk rejection, to risk being seen.
So let's revisit that moment from the beginning. The tight chest, the racing heart, the spinning mind. That wasn't your body falling apart. That was your body preparing you to do something important. That wasn't a sign to retreat.
that was a sign to engage. The stress wasn't the enemy, it was the messenger. And if you listen to it, it will tell you exactly what you need to do. It will tell you that you care about the outcome. It will tell you that you're invested. It will tell you that you're alive. And if you can learn to hear that message without running from it, you'll discover something remarkable. The thing you were trying to escape was the very thing that was trying to help you.
What if stress wasn't the enemy? What if it was the only reason you ever got anything done? What if it was the engine of everything that made you human? The research says it is. The biology says it is. The history of your ancestors says it is. The only thing that changed was your story. And you can change that story anytime you want, starting now.